Hey, this is Reddit Stories. I am reading stuff. Today we will be continuing with r/TalesFromRetail. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Now sit back and enjoy the stories. Ill pay in cash. I used to work as a cashier at a regional grocery store chain as a summer job. This happened during a morning shift one day. I was waiting around for a customer near my register when this guy rolls up with 2 carts full of groceries. No big deal, but I knew I would be there for a while. After I scanned all of his 2 carts worth of groceries, it totaled somewhere just under $300 worth. I asked the generic cash or card question and he said cash and proceeded to hand me a massive stack of $1 bills. Knowing this was a unique case, I called over my manager and we began counting and bundling the money to make sure he had enough. After counting, the customer was still short another $100 or so. After telling the customer he was short, he said he would be right back, and about 3 or so minutes later came back into the store with another stack of ones. After counting those, he was still short like $50 and we had to painstakingly go through his items and remove stuff he didn't need badly. Thankfully it was early in the morning, so he didn't hold up a line of people or anything, and he was a nice enough dude. My real question is, why did he have so many ones? Where do you get that many? Money laundering? I will never know. Edit. The money laundering comment was meant as a joke, so don't take it too seriously. If you enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe to help us make more videos. You're not my servant. First post here, an older story from when I was a bagger at a grocery store. Dialogue is approximate at best. It's customary for the baggers at my store to ask people with larger orders if they need help bringing their purchases to their cars. Generally you'd ask as you finish bagging the order, after the cashier has finished taking payment, so there's no interrupting going on. Well, one day I was bagging a large order and was waiting for my turn to speak. The customer, let's say Sally, was actively chatting with the cashier, so I wasn't keen on interrupting. Then, without missing a beat, Sally turns to look at me. She uses the flattest, least friendly voice possible when speaking to me, a far cry from how she addressed the cashier. Sally, you're going to help me out, right? Me. Of course. Sally. That's what I thought. I was a bit taken aback, but it was hardly the worst I had dealt with. Until I start to follow her out with the cart of groceries. You see, our front end is very busy during prime time and there's only enough room for 2 people side by side. So in the interest of not blocking opposite traffic, people walk single file. We didn't even make it 10 steps before Sally stops, turns around, and gives me a stink eye. Sally, don't walk behind me. You're not my servant. Me. Sorry, miss. I'm just following you. Sally. Well, don't stand right behind me. Me. Ma'am, there's no room to walk anywhere else but behind you. She seemed satisfied with that answer and kept walking. Once we got to her car, she made it abundantly clear that I was to place the bags in a very specific manner in her trunk. She would roll her eyes every time I went to place a bag and then tell me to move it to a different area of the trunk. By the time I had loaded all of the bags, I was mentally drained. She closed her trunk and got into her car without saying a word of thanks and sped off as soon as I was out of the way. I never saw her in the store again, and I can't say that I'm disappointed. Woman doesn't understand how check lane dividers work. I had finished with the people in front of this weird woman by the time she was ready to place her items on the belt. Despite me having a line, she walked nearly all the way up to my register before starting to empty her cart. Which means if the person behind her, like 97% of customers, is dumb enough to not understand how a moving belt works, then I'm going to end up getting their groceries mixed in with Weirda's groceries. Thankfully this doesn't happen. She apparently fully expected someone else to put their items on the belt too. She had maybe 2 items on the belt and then put a divider behind her items. I start scanning, and like the belt does, everything moves forward. I grab the divider and place it back in its notch and continue scanning. Weirdo still has approximately 10 items in her cart when she grabs another divider, places it on the belt, and then places items behind it. So, I hit total and tell her, okay, so the first total is $23.67, Weirdo snaps. What are you talking about? It's all together, me. Oh, then why did you place the divider on the belt, Weirdo snaps. It was a mistake, sheesh lady, I'm not the one using things incorrectly. During the brief convo, I finished scanning the rest of her items and gave her the full total. She paid without a fuss, but seemed to be radiating anger all the way up to her leaving. Hit the subscribe button for more daily Reddit content and press the bell icon to get notified when a new video is uploaded. Also, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, it really does help the channel. If you have any ideas, suggestions, let us know in the comment section. See you in the next one.